Hello, everybody! It has been that time of the season we've all been waiting for. The special event here at the streets of Macau for the special event of GPU Formula 3 European Series here. We thought we'd take a bit of a detour from the European part, we'll ignore that bit. I'm David Carter, so I'm glad to have alongside me this evening Ewan Gale back in the commentary box once again.
Yeah, I'm back. I've had a week off. I've been slacking, but I'm back. And for this special event, as David said, we're in Macau. It is the crown jewel of Formula 3 racing, and I, for one, cannot wait to get started.
Yeah, so it's going to be fantastic. Now, in the past week or so, we've had the pre-qualifying, of course. So 30 cars did qualify for this event. But it looks like only 23 have bothered to show up. So far, we've got Senny Stoffmeal, who's just arrived in the server as well. We've got two 12-lap races here this evening. It's on a very, very bright and sunny Macau circuit. But if you've watched Macau before or any racing around here in the past, you know what it can be like. It's quite a race of attrition to be expected here. But as I say, some cracking racing nevertheless here as well this evening. Now, there is some names that are not here. If you've been watching the regular season, you'll notice the likes of Nocturne, THR, and also, I believe, Stacks as well are not here. So the three top teams in the season not here today, including all their drivers. But so we have got a few names either returning to GPU for a one-off or new to the series. We got the likes of Oliver Parakian, I want to say. I'm going to be told if it's wrong. David Yunt is here. Casper Nizio's here. Wopke Hoekstra as well, who's raced here before. At GPU, he is back for Scuderia Frecinera, as well as Terence Gretsch as well. Great to see him back. We've got a name I've not met before, Tobias Blumschein, I want to say.
Yeah.
Osama Kanani? I'm gonna. Osama, that's his name. Will Kemwright, that's a lot easier to say. It's back Vincent Guts as well for Epic, Scott Morris, Milan Court, Janssen Bins, and Senny Stoffmeal as well. You know, some great names here to keep an eye on, but also some very quick wrigglers as well.
Yeah, this is what the beauty of this special event that we've had pre-qualifying for is that we've really got a mix-up of names, a mix-up of teams. It's not just the same usual suspects, and we should have a bit of a celebration. Here is Perikian for Super Venturi. His teammate Simon Frelich was fastest in the practice that we've just had before the broadcast started, and now we're into qualifying, and this is Lisboa at the end of the straight. This is where a lot of the action will be in the race. Down the end of the long straight and then up St. Francisco Hill he goes on his first lap.
Over here, the top of the hill racing here, of course, for Super Venturi. And his teammates for this event is going to be Szymon Frelich and Casper Nizio as well, two Polish drivers taking part. The team over there being Marco Ferlich. But yeah, cracking little circuit this going down the hill. This is now sector 2 going across this right-hander third here. So important to get the line rights around here, isn't it, as well? You know, one slight misjudgment, one slight turn in either too early or too late, and you go in that barrier at the rate of knots, aren't you here, Ewan?
Yeah, it sounds like a stupid thing to say, but actually sometimes the slower you go, the faster you go, because you may go faster than anyone through one of those sweeping corners, but then you're out of position for the next one, and then that means you're out of position for the next one and the next one. So it's all about flow, it's all about rhythm, as you can see with Perikian. He's nicely within the limits of his driving through the left-hander. Now we're getting ever closer to Malco hairpin. Look how narrow it is. Now really open it up, all of the steering lock you can get. Perfectly done, actually, from Oliver there, and then down the hill really towards the end of the lap. Now we're going to come up to Fisherman's Bend shortly, and it's just incredible the speed to get through such a narrow section of track. Here is Fisherman's, really opening out and then up to the final corner at the end of this straight.
This is the part of track that I can just about handle myself, I reckon. It's nice, fairly easy, but also braking points are actually quite tricky, and I say it sometimes can tighten up on you where you least expect it as well. But that's a lap of Macau. I say, cracking little challenge in circuit here. All different elements of tracks, obviously slow corners, fast corners, and through the barrier corners with the lag that you saw there. But I say, back now on track here with Parakean as he goes up to Mandarin.
It's a beautiful corner sweep down the straight, absolutely full throttle, and you try not to scrub too much speed because it's all about that top maximum speed down into Lisboa. This is where you're going to get your moves done, and he's had a bit of a sliding into the wall, so that's that lap ruin straight away.
Into the wall. I think I'll carry on here, but here is one of the unsung heroes of GPU this season, Gale. He's been really quick this season, the Dutchman, without sort of taking under the sort of headlines. By the way, fastest first sector of anyone so far, Shimon Frelich. He was quickest in free practice, and so far sector 1, 41.499. By the way, fastest man in pre-qualifying, Guillaume Branton from Mode Auto Concepts, and it was Gale Hode, Frelich, Daniel Saptowski, and Dan Hayek. Yes, let's go with that.
Nicely done. Nicely done. Just beautiful though, that Mazunda, isn't it? An absolutely beautiful looking car with the red, white and black. On board with Simon Frelich though, through the narrow middle sector now, the blast down the hill towards the hairpin. Really on it, isn't he? As we said, he really opened the corner up, pulling far to the left, get the steering lock on. Now absolutely weave it through the barriers down the hill towards Fisherman's, and just look, you've got to try and pick some sort of mental marker as to where the breaking point is, but those black and yellow walls are almost hypnotic, aren't they, as you're driving past them that fast, still trying to pick a mental marker. There you go, under the bridge, brakes, flick it right and across the line then to complete his first lap. Simon Frelich will of course be fastest.
There, what is that for a lap? 209.0 there. Now, fastest lap in pre-qualifying was a 208.1 is one there. So there's still a way to go, so I expect times to go down by a considerable margin in the remaining of this 15 minutes, well, 20-minute session, 50 minutes to go. So we're on board a very, very pedestrian Denis Ashenko there. Looks like he's hit a wall damage. He has, look at that.
And rear wing and front wing.
Now, he's hit a wall somewhere, and I suspect... Oh, it is private qualifying at least, which is a very good decision. I totally forgot about that, to be honest. But
Can you imagine what it would have been like otherwise?
Oh, brilliant! That's what we're here for, entertainment! What do you think this is? But no, it's a sensible decision. There's no doubt about that. It's Gerrit there. 2 green sectors so far. This is his first... Is this his first lap? I think it is his first lap. Yes, it is. David Juntz in P2 actually did a 209.7. Everyone else has been in the 210s or slower. Got Laho, Hoekstra, Hutt, Stoffbiel, Gretsch, Branson, Teichmann, and Will Kenwright rounding out the top 10 there as well. Still a lot of time to be found by a lot of drivers. But here's Gale Hodo across the line, and there he is. Purple final sector, and the first man into the 8s.
Yeah, lovely final sector, wasn't it? It was quite a bit faster, but Frelich is a lot faster on his next lap. 2 purples through sector 1 and 2. Let's see if he finishes it.
Now, interesting here with setup as well. Are people going to set up their cars for the straight lines? Sector 1, sector 3? Or are they going to go towards the balance route and the handling route of sector 2?
It's difficult because there is only one place to make an overtake really, and that is into Lisboa at the end of the long straight. So you'd think that your top speed is what you want, but what you don't want to do is struggle in qualifying through the twisty bits and end up 15th, 16th on the grid by doing that. So it's really finding that balance really, isn't it? As Frelich goes back top ahead of Helhoy, that's a 208.5, so still 3/10 there. David Yunt 209.6, he found a little bit of time but not enough to jump on from third, and Leho pits on his latest lap.
8.5 from Frelich as well. Stunning stuff from the young Polish driver. Wopke Hoekstra on board with his first appearance in the season for the Scuderia. And another one of those ridiculously long team names. Scott Burrows said TR powered by Geeks Energy as well. That's I hope it tastes nice. Send me a sample, you know, I'll give you a fair opinion. Tobias Blumstein as well, another newcomer to the series, to Team Iris car. And it's great to see, actually, if you think of the future of this championship and this series, Ewan, as well, throwing in a few new names. You know, it's a great way to test people out in a maybe a less competitive or less serious race, you could say. But great for the future of future signings. Maybe you could almost give them like a test session almost, but in a race environment, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and especially for a team like Team Iris, because I was really impressed with them in the season and probably didn't get the results they deserved. Leho and Meunier were really on it in the season. Plenty of really outstanding comeback through the field drives. I'm thinking Leho, I think he was in Austria, came from the back of the field and really impressed. So someone like Blumstein who's really on it, look how close he is getting to the walls as he threads the needle through the left-hander, and then we'll start going back down towards the Macau hairpin again, and let's see what he can do. 208.5 is the target time, of course. I think Frederick probably won't be troubling that, but 2 green sectors on his first lap, so it should be decent. I imagine top 15 for this lap, where he's about second down through the first 2 sectors, so actually that would put him right up there if he can maintain that speed. But this is where we could see that his setup was played to the final sector like Gale. So through the final corner, a little bit wide, he'd do well to keep it out of the wall, a bit of a tap, nothing too dangerous, and Blumstein across the line will go up to P8. Yeah, so a decent lap there from Tobias Blumstein, and backing us up nicely there, David.
Yeah, thank goodness for that. So I was going to say,
we've had plenty of that for the season, haven't we?
yeah. Excuse me, but yeah, we've had a few misjudgments and stuff. But Team Iris, 6th in the team's championship, only just behind Valley Esports as well. So very respectable effort. Of course, they're the best result of P3 in Zandvoort in the hands of one of their, not Laho, the other one, Meunier. That was it. Meunier, that's his name. On board now with Max Reichel there in the Mode Auto Concepts car. He's in the pit lane, a very tight and twisty pit lane. 10 minutes to go, halfway through this session. Of course, only one name or one driver not to set a time, and that's this man here, who we saw in the war earlier without the wings. He's gotten back on the car, and now he's on a lap for the VMS and then its racing car.
And this time he's managed to negotiate St. Francisco Hill, which is where we saw him crabbing. So this is a much better run at it for Ishenko in the Sun Edit's car. So again, down the hill, maybe a little bit more sliding than some of the other guys we've seen so far, but this is really pressure on for him. Hasn't got a lap time on the board yet. He really wants to get this lap in, get back onto the pit, and then do another lap to finish. A bit of a kiss on the wall though on the exit of the hairpin complex, and now absolutely herring it down to Fisherman's.
So Sun Edits as well, who did the final couple of rounds of the championship, finished in 12th, but ahead of Beyond Esports actually as well.
Yeah, it was a decent few races though for Sun Edits. Like I said, considering they came in at the end of the season, it was a decent few run-outs for them.
It was, and there we are, P16, first lap on the board, just getting that solid time in, and he's actually, if he improves by about half a second or so, he should move up the field a little bit higher as well, maybe threatening the top 10 as well. And here's a man that's been very, very quiet, Guillaume Branton, purple sector 2, 18th at the moment, fastest in pre-qualifying of course, and we expect him, I mean there's a big old gap, I mean compared to the lap time he did, even if he's sort of like in the same postcode of that lap time, which is 28.1 he did in pre-qualifying, he should be on the front 2 rows of this grid here, but he's going to go around the final corner, gets plenty of speed on the exit, nails down his right finger as he's on that controller of course, but across the line, and here we are, 208.8, that puts him into P3.
And that's with a slower first sector than his personal best before that as well, so that's pretty good. But he was the first person I've seen hug that inside wall all the way down the final straight, and you know that's saving distance, that's saving time. So switched on there from Guillaume.
Here's another man, obviously in for this one round, David Yunt as well. I tell you what, they've got a very, very handy lineup, Scuderia Freckenera. Yunt and Hoekstra as well, plenty of experience there. Maybe not so much in the likes of testing and practicing, but a lot of experience nevertheless. They both know their way around this circuit, that's one thing for sure. As they're 1.1 seconds off of the pole time, but sitting in a position where that's kind of where you want to be at the start of these races. It's always been nerve-wracking being at the front of these races because obviously you've got the down first lap. You've got what I call the parking lot. When there's an incident, everyone just piles in and parks the car. But if you're on the front 2 rows of the grid, you're not in a bad position at all.
No, I'll be honest, I don't want to be on the front row at Macau because you're going to have a massive slipstream effect all the way down to this. But think of the first 2 corners as part of the straight, and then you've got all of that full throttle where people can just slipstream up behind you. So I'd be happy 3rd or 4th, maybe even 5th, to be honest, as Ewan almost goes into the barrier, but really opened the hairpin out nicely, and that's allowed him to really get the throttle on, get as much pace as he can down towards Fisherman's Bend. Now, the last few people we've been on board with have been quite wide as Fisherman's, and Ewan was as well. You could hear him having to feather the throttle late on, so that's probably taking a bit of time off his lap time. Let's see what he does. Might go into the pits. No, he doesn't. So again, though, a bit wide off the apex at the final corner. So David, not the tidiest last sectors, but it still should do him good. And yeah, 209.6. So it's pretty much the same. And Frederick's flying, isn't he?
Yeah, 2.8.3. He's on it. He's done a lot of practice, I have the feeling, for this event, particularly in pre-qualifying as well, as we see on the Team Iris cars improve. So here is Max Reichel, now P8. I'll say we've got 6 minutes to go to the session, so you probably still get a couple of laps in if you really want to.
I love this run down, David. I love watching these cars run down towards this corner. It's incredible. Like I said, it's hypnotic, those black and yellow barriers either side, and yeah, the skill to pick the braking zone in that situation is just incredible.
Yeah, I say like the barriers there also draws you in, doesn't it? Like your sort of head leans forward going down that straight, thinking, where's the braking zone? Are they going to make it or not? It's fantastic sort of feeling you get watching on board here on this T-Cam. Reichel up to 6th there with the 209.9. Still 1.5 seconds off pole, but he gets himself ahead of Hoekstra, behind Laho at this present moment as well. No one else.
Lashenko's gone up to P8. Lashenko's gone up to P8. We were talking about him just now. He was down in P16 or 17 after his first lap because he crashed on his opening attempt. But up to P8, that's a great lap time from Denis Lashenko.
Yeah, as I say, some guys who've not set a really representative lap time, the likes of Gerrit, Dezau, Morris, Court. I expect a bit more from you guys. Come on, you got to get a lap in next sort of just under 5 minutes to get a pretty good lap time on the board. At least make yourself someone competitive in the midfield. About 4 or 5 seconds off the pace there. So still a bit of time to go, but not long at all. A couple of more laps and that'll be it as well. But it's very difficult. It takes one small mistake. You're in that war. Damage suspension, as we saw with Schenker earlier. And that could be your session ruined as well. A couple of green sectors here from Parakian in P9. As there's my example. Right into the wall.
There is.
I say ruining his left front suspension probably. We're down this straight again. Just see how much time he did lose there. And almost getting a little bit of correction there on the exit in the Super Venturi car. Braking at the sort of bridge there, turns in, gets power on early, washes out a little bit actually on the exit as well, a bit of understeer. But here he goes, it's going to be a 2:10. There it is, P9 still lost a lot of time in that final sector.
Yeah, a lot of people struggling with the last 2 corners with a bit of, as you said, washing out a little bit, a bit of understeer, having to get off the throttle halfway through the corner. It's no good. So here's Caspanizio in the 3rd Super Venturi. He's P10 at the moment, so really good showing for Super Venturi as Nizio threads his way around the streets in a bit of a slide. He did so well to catch that in the narrowest part of the track.
Yeah, it's a stunning bit of driving there. Did a good job. He's a P10 at the minute. In that sort of big group of cars, we got himself, Hut, Stoffmeal, Kanani. Oh, I'm going to get slaughtered for that, I know. Nanny, that'd do. Bloomshine and Gresh, they're sort of 3/10 of each other at this present moment. I think no matter where you are on this grid, you're going to be in some form of battle, aren't you? Because it's very much a stop-start type of track.
Yeah.
There's no real sort of like big section of track where the guys can really pull away. Oh, there we are, a big whack on the right hand side and left side for Nisia. There's going to be a bit, at least light blue damage on the left side of that car.
But that comes from knowing that he needed to pinch the apex because he's been sliding all the way through as everyone else has. So that's the tricks that a street circuit can play on you.
No one improves to 7th as well with that. Even that
Hell of
was
an
in the
effort.
wall. That's a great effort. He could have actually probably gone to something like 5th if he hadn't have made that mistake. There's Frelick there on the outlap there as well. And one man who is improving again is Parakean in 10th as well. He's set another 2 green personal bests. He types that tight there as well.
That's
A little bit. That's better. That's more like it. Going out of there as well. I think this is going to be quite a reasonable improvement. I have a feeling. I reckon you're going to see him around 6th, 7th place if he gets this final corner right. Which he nearly hit the gap of the barrier there. But here he goes across the line. There's 5th place. Great effort.
And
really
I still
nice.
think he could have been 4th there because he got a little bit wide in the final corner. That's a little narrow margins that we've got around here. But it's a 2-minute 8 lap. And most people are sort of on that 2-second marker from Frelick. It sounds like a lot, it's not round here. It's really not. Branton is absolutely on it though.
He is green at sector 1. Oh, bit of understeer there though, that was not ideal, and he got the understeer again from the left.
I don't know how he hasn't hit anything through any of that.
Oh, did he brush it there though? That was awfully tight. There's a bit of a rub there on the barrier. He's getting away with it though. He's not really losing speed by hitting the wall, but maybe losing a little bit to understeer. Purple sector 2.
That's incredible. It looked fast though. Sometimes you can tell, no, he's in the wall. It might have helped him a little bit though. It might have helped him turn it around a bit.
Possibly there. Is he worked out something that no one else has? Or at least not happened.
This is why you practice, David. Into Fisherman's End. Can he get it? Yeah, look. Oh, he's in the wall on the inside. That'll do it.
There we are. Not ideal at all, as I've just got some very, very good information actually about people's top speeds. I say top speed around here tends to be about 250 Ks. People like Shimon. I tell you what, the Super Venturi cars, all extremely quick in a straight line. By about 2 or 3 Ks across most of the field as well, so watch out for them, particularly Parakean and Nisio, especially at the start of the race with their straight line. If they're going to get a slipstream, they could really make it work. So I thank Tom Steams for that. I say the reigning champion of this event, his reward is just steering for tonight, so congrats Tom. There we are, checkered flag now out. So say this is Yunt. So say not a great first sector. Branton out to actually did set a personal best, but stayed in 3rd position. No one else on really quick laps. I see Scott Morris set a personal best sector 1, but he's down 22nd. He needs to get on with it. Yunt's here though. Not a bad effort. Shimon Frelick purple sector 2.
A ridiculous middle sector that is. 39.7.
Crazy. That's one of the best we've seen literally all event long, pretty
It's
much,
bonkers.
even in pre-quali. But here comes Shunt anyway, P5, who goes round the final corner, gets a nice line actually through that, quite like that. Keep it left, keep it left, keep it left, and let's see what it's going to be. Up to 4th. Brilliant effort there from Yun. Fantastic stuff. But here's the man of the moment, Shimon Frelick, the pole. Will he be on pole though, going out of the final corner, keeping it left, getting a nice little side strap from the barrier there. And here we go. Bang! There it is. There it is. Pole position. And that is only half a tenth off the best lap of the whole event so far. That's including pre-quali as well. It's Gale Branton into the wall. He does like the walls.
Yeah, at that corner. Fisherman's has got him twice in a row, and I think that time he has knocked something out. And I think he's a bit frustrated.
Yeah. Do you think he could be Wars' representative for ice cream after that? No. Nice weather as well. It's suitable for it. There's Terence Gretcher, 16th. He probably not best pleased with that. 2.5 seconds off the pole, but Frelick, 2:08.1, 7/10 distance
It
between
wasn't close, was it?
and Gilho. No, it wasn't. And to be fair, sim racing nowadays, you see these massively long laps, 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes, and they're still welded together. And in fairness, the majority of this grid is pretty close. I know Pat, but Frelick has just put himself 2 postcodes clear with that effort. And it wasn't just the 1 lap either. He did a 0.5, a 0.3, and a 0.1.
Yeah, it's incredible. He just ramped himself up, didn't he? So really, really impressive. And as he said, actually, we were on board with a lot of people, especially through those middle and final sectors, and a lot of people were pretty elbows out, flying through those narrow walls, weren't they? So yeah, absolutely fantastic qualifying session. Only really one big accident we saw, wasn't it, from Oshenko, and even he managed to recover Denis Oshenko and get himself up into the top 15. Great position to start the race from. Of course, we'll have a second race later with a reverse grid, won't we? So.
Well, we'll see after that one how good a position that was. After all the car park we're going to have after the at the hotel or wherever it is, so at that corner. So we'll find out. But that has been qualified. 23 cars qualified. Big gap between top and the bottom, 5.6 seconds. But the race will be a different story, I'm sure. That's been quali. We'll see you in a few moments' time. We are back. We've only got about 40 seconds left of warm-up here, but a good opportunity to thank our partners for the whole series we've done this year. 3D Wrap, and obviously Sadler Computers for keeping our servers updated. Ping-free, well, basically ping-free and lag-free as well. They've done a fantastic job, all the partners as well. Of course, our prize winners for the season, they will receive some discount codes. Top 5 of the championship will receive discount codes from 3D Wrap as well, varying in percentages as well. And I've told them, let us know what you get with that, and let us know how good their products are as well. The reviews have been excellent in the past as well. It's only a dream for me to do it, but I'll tell you what, Ewan, after a couple of years of doing this broadcasting bit, we might be able to afford one ourselves.
Yeah. Can you imagine us two doing what these guys are doing? Though it'd be chaos. It'd be a bit more like what just happened there, I think. There'd be walls involved.
I'm good at parking because I do that a lot.
But in real life, I'm not sure how good I am in the game.
But yeah,
I should have to do a commentator special race. We'll be the warm-up event. We'll have a one-on-one around Macau, but maybe we'll jump in a VW Polo or something instead. Something that's expensive.
Do we let all the staff, do we let our cameramen and staff involved as well, or just us two?
Well, who's gonna show our talents if the cameramen are involved?
Good point.
Also, have you seen who the cameraman is? It's Gerrit Vries. He races.
It is Gerrit. Yeah, to be fair, he would beat us comprehensively. To be fair. Yeah, I'll back out of that comment.
Sorry, Gerrit.
That's all right. I'll drive the medical car at the back.
No, people need to get in that sometimes, David.
Oh! Wow.
I don't want the medical car pulling up after I've had a crash and seeing you in it.
Oh, mate, I'll be injecting all sorts, just to keep me going throughout the race. And that's all right. No problem.
Give me some Lucozade, I'll be fine.
Yeah, that is true, actually. Yeah, that's some pretty damn good stuff, I must admit. But not for now. I'll maybe after the broadcast, might need a bit of that after watching some of this. But anyway, back to the topic of the racing. So 2 12-lap races here this evening around the streets of Macau. Of course, there'll be a pretty long formation lap to deal with as well, I'm sure. Interesting to see if anyone actually starts from the pits or not, because, will that be the smart move, particularly if you're at the back of the grid, trying to avoid the carnage at the start? We'll find out in a minute.
Did you know these F3 cars had a horn?
Yeah, I've heard a bit of that, especially, obviously being in part of the hearing what THR and Octa have been doing in some of the testing. The horn has been used a lot, blowing their own trumpet, so to speak, after all the success they've had this season, which is great to see. I can say that now, they're not here, I'm not being biased technically. so it's fine. But no, it's yeah, the horns are a nice little add-on, you can say, across all of these mods, and they got to keep himself entertaining these children, I guess, as well on the grid. But here is the grid. Frelick on pole by considerable margin from Gerhode. There as well from Branton, from Yunt, from Nisio, from Parakian, Laho and Wopke Hoekstra. He's gone from Brasilia, Bastia and Macau and back again to get in this seat. Blauchine and Reichel, Granite at top 10, Dan Hutt and Janssen Bintz. In level 12, Stoffmeal and Ashenko with wings attached. 13th and 14th, Osama, Kanani and Terence Gretsch rounding up 15th and 16th. Luca Tosano, Michael Teichmann, Vincent Gutt and Will Kenwright rounding up the top 20. I can see there's some fans in the chat. I'll go with you, I promise. Romka Dezeu, Scott Morris and Milan Court rounding out the full 23 cars of the grid. I'll tell you what, it's a shame that the other people who pre-qualified isn't here. Really good names like Roal pre-qualified, Setowski, Hayek, Hamming, you know, who else? Mass, Elliott. We've seen Ryan Elliott win a race obviously as well earlier this season at Norris Ring. Stan Valestra, Dean Vella. There's some great names who would have really added quality to this grid as well as quantity.
Yeah, and that's saying something with the quality of the grid that we've got. Going back to Will Kenwright, by the way, that Optiminal Esports is a nice looking car as well. It's a bit of me, that sort of that grey, black. It's a bit evil, doesn't it? I like it.
He's saying that because you're really boring. No, I'm joking.
Yes, yes I am.
No, it is a nice, like, understated looker, I must say. But brilliant designs and liveries all across this season as well. I actually quite like, funny enough, the Scuderia Freca car in P4 there of Yunt that's driving now. It's a bit out there, a bit different. I mean, some I wouldn't have myself because it hasn't got a Crossfire logo on it, but nevertheless, quite a handy looking car as well. Someone actually did ask me, do you want to bring Crossfire back for this round? But
yes, should have been the answer.
Yeah, it would have been the answer.
Well, I would have pushed it out the comms box.
But no one would put me bossing about being an engineer, which is probably the right decision.
Yeah, don't blame him.
Yeah. Then again, it does bring success when I boss people about, I guess.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
The trophy's staring at me right in the eyes, so you know it's the evidence. I'm always getting constantly reminded of my success.
He hasn't even started the race and he's picking himself up.
Nah, well, you know.
No, please, let's get the racing started. I can't wait for this, David. I honestly can't. We're just
it's going to be outstanding. It's going to be absolutely brilliant. I suspect.
Electric down into Lisboa on the first lap.
It's almost like a sight. They leave the grid and go through turn one, and it's like building up. It's like here we go, here we go, here we go, and then they go through Mandarin. It's like here we go. Has anything happened? You're always like looking around the corner almost to see what's going on behind. It's going to be madness. This first lap is going to be really, really intense. But now, thanks to Gerrit, we can see a full panning shot of the grid. I say they're all pretty much now, I think, lined up at the back there. We'll obviously wait for Milan Corp. They are all lining up the grid. No one's starting from the pits, which is good to see. They're all lined up now, waiting for these 5 or 4 lights, I should say, to go out. But here they go. The red lights on. The Macau special here, GPU, is now underway, and it looks like a pretty handy start there from Shimon Frelick there. He's got a car length clear. But Gerhode is in perfect position there to take advantage with the slipstream as well. There's a bit of contact there, I think, as well. So, oh, there we go. There it is. There it is. They didn't even make it round one corner. But here we go. Down. Last Mandarin now. Venturi cars. Look at that. All in a line there, trying to get the advantage and take position. All in the slipstream. They're rapid in a straight line, of course. But here they go. Frelick into the hotel. As they go through there, all looks pretty clean there so far. Yes, they've all made it through that particular corner, but damage at the back of the field looks like Morris, Gretsch, Kenwright involved as well. I think Milan Court as well was also involved in that incident at the back.
really impressed with how clean it was through Mandarin and Lisboa in particular, and all the way up San Francisco Hill as well. And there's one of the, it's Nizio in the Super Venturi.
Nizio with rear wing stuck in the barrier. That is a DNF and retirement already. Half
Tell you
of
what
that
though,
gone, and
he was right up to the front. That could have been so much worse.
it could have been. You notice there's also already a bit of a gap there. Parakian in P3 there, 2.5 seconds behind Gale Hode, and he's gonna cause a train pretty much now. Not disrespecting speed, it's just the way it is around the opening laps around Macau. Gets a little bit of a slide there.
What Parakian's got against him here though is that with Frelick and Gale Hode already at the front, he's lost that slipstream down from turn 1 all the way down to Lisboa, so he's going to be under the cost from Junt, Leho, Hoekstra and Branson. Branson, not the best first lap for him. I wonder if he got tangled with Nizio up the hill. Oh, and I think was that one of the Epic cars into the barrier at the hairpin there.
Yeah, it looked like it a little bit there. I'd say, obviously,
yellow valley. It might have been Deserve.
Oh, Deserve, yeah, that's spot on there. The Valley Sports driver. They all seem to have got away with it. Obviously, at the back of the field, you've got the likes of Morris, Gretchen, Kenwright, all suffering and may have to pit as well. So you've got Branton passing Blue Machine, Stoffmeal, Reichel dropping back through the field. So there's a yellow in sector 3 there. I don't know what, probably out the final corner, but on board now with Sven Gerhode. He's attacking Frelick here. Frelick goes defensive already. Hits the bump in the road. He goes left here, trying to get the rubbered in braking zone for Lisboa, but Frelick holds him off.
You just can't get around the outside at Lisboa. You can't. There's no way of doing it because there's not enough room on the outside to carry the momentum through. As I say that, someone's going to prove me wrong. No, they're not, and that's what happens if you do try and stick in there. So you've got to be really sensible and pick your fights, and you've got to find a way of getting up the inside. Don't really know how you do it when Frelick is as savvy as he was and pulled right across early on Stoffmiller in the epic.
Here we go, in the water, and also Kenwright, Gretchen Mox in the pits. Oh, that's a bad rejoin there. That is a poor rejoin, and a front wing, or 2 front wings there as a result. But Dan Hutt facing the wrong way, recovers. Now at the back of the field regarding people who've not retired and pitted. Max Reichel actually retired as well from this race. We're already seeing plenty of victims in the early laps.
Yeah, and this is probably a chain reaction. As soon as one goes, a load goes, we just saw there. So, no, unfortunate for a lot of people involved with that. Pretty much from Teichmann down. Look, Teichmann 7 seconds off Stoffmeal now, and then Gerrit, Gnani, Derzevchenko losing positions as well. But back up the front, David Junt all over the back of Oliver Parakian.
Scuderia Freccianera as well, 4th and 5th. Hoekstra right behind, a yellow flag as well as an interesting lag moment there. But I think Teichmann has suffered there. He's dropped down a couple of positions behind the Schenker Pine Court. I think he was the one who lost his front wing. Actually, Michael Teichmann potentially.
Yes. Good call. And ironically, it was his teammate who spun and caused all of that, wasn't it?
It was actually, yeah, it was fun. There was a red car as well, and I think is there a car going in the pits there as well? Should be in a moment. Well, there's one car.
Yeah, Gnani
there. That's right, you said that better than me. Kanani? But yeah, Kanani there. That's a very good.
Branton's move, and Junt's made the move as well. Junt into P3 past Parakian.
And Kenwright has also retired as well. It's the 3rd retirement already out of this race, and a yellow flag in sector 1. Can't work out who that was, but yeah, as you say, Junt at the 3rd. And look at Hoekstra.
Look at this.
Oh, it was no, sorry, Tizano. That is sorry, the 3rd of the Scuderia cars.
I can't believe they got out of it.
Yeah, locking wheels like that is pretty remarkable.
And they're still going.
Bintz holds on in the Valley Sports car. Janssen Bintz, first time me watching this guy. I've never seen him before, but I say pretty respectable effort so far. Ahead of racing guys who's been racing, like Tizano, racing this all season long. Of Stoffmeal, no slouch himself, of course. Vincent Gutt, 8 seconds behind this slot. Pretty good effort for this Janssen Bint so far. And look at that, Frelick and Gale 8 seconds up the road from David Junt.
Yeah, it's pretty special. What a move that is! What a move from Janssen Bint. That's incredible. I can't believe it.
Dive bomb central. That was, but
that's not an overtaking place.
He wasn't.
Wow.
He managed that. I think Tizano did the very sensible thing and get the hell out of the way, because that was.
I think Tizano's got different coloured underwear on.
Yeah, they might have been his lucky ones, but they're more mucky ones now. You could say up
I
to
believe
that.
That was incredible.
Yeah, it was stunning. Laholo been again one of these sort of unsung heroes of the season. P5, Parakeet ahead, and I say he's going to have a tasty slipstream. I know the Venturi car is quick though in a straight line, so we're going to see what he's got, and not really closing in. It is closing in. Then get hold again. Oh, he's going to get switched. Oh, here we go. Get hold. No, can't quite do it. Frelick there, holding position. And here we go. Oh, is he going to do any outside?
Into the wall.
Oh, into the warp, but through.
Has he got away with it is the next question. It looks like he has, because he managed to get up the first part of San Francisco Hill fairly well. Yeah, he would have crashed by now if he had suspension damage, so all good. Lucky. Very lucky. And it's, the amount of speed he had to carry through to try and make that go around the outside, it doesn't really work, to be honest. So, Perikian a little bit lucky there. Unlucky, sorry.
He was unlucky, and I say Leho getting away with it as well there. Didn't see the car crabbing at all, so as you say, it looks like he has got away with it. 1.6 seconds the gap between him and Junt. Junt just chugging along in P3, done a great job as well, but the two leaders, Frelick, hold half a second between them. Oh, to say who hits the wall nicely there. That'll leave a mark on the barrier. That's for sure.
This is
there.
the thing, right? Is that they're side by side, the two leaders into this row every single lap. Yeah, they're doing 209s. What last lap was the fastest lap of the race for Gale, 209.3. Junt did a personal best in P3 of a 211.0.
Wow.
It's chalk and cheese at the moment. They're absolutely flying up front. 10 seconds now the gap.
I mean, Junt's only hope to close that gap is if these two at the front have an incident. And if they've taken their sensible pills, they'll realise, do you know what? Let's not fight too hard. Let's just get on with it. Maybe fight the final lap or something, but just build the gap, work together, and get away. And that's exactly what they've been doing.
Yeah. Where that falls apart, though, David, is that there is no championship here. This is for a victory in a special event at the end of what was the regular season. So there's actually not that much to lose, and an awful lot to gain if you're Gale Hoyd. So how long does he stick at this? He's tried to stay around the outside this time. It didn't work, but they locked wheels there. That is where Junt will have a chance.
It will indeed, and I say every time Frelick has been defensive, Hoyd's tried to go around the outside, and every time so far it has failed. But we're not even halfway through this race yet, so a long way to go. Terence Gretsch is the latest retirement. Only 19 runners now, as we've seen. There's only 16 guys really who's not really been affected by pitting either. You've obviously got Kanani, Teichmann, Morris, all down the bottom end of the field after pitting, 50 seconds or so away from the back of the field. But here's Stanislav Mill now for Epic Racing. That's a real win there. Oh, who's that? Oh, there it is. P9 is spinning. It's Bins has spinned it. And Valley Sports car there. That's going to be a difficult car to get back to the pits, especially on the fast parts of the track like this one. Oh, it's going to be fun. This is going to be fun indeed. Look at that. I tell you, if he doesn't spin this will be seriously impressive. But I think when he gets to sort of sector...
There you go.
2... Yeah, I spoke too soon, didn't I? Oh, here we go.
This is where it gets ugly now. You've got a long train of cars coming back who were affected by an incident earlier, and this is where the track gets narrow. So, fingers crossed they all get through safe.
That's an interesting line to say, but he gets away with it. But this could be the next part of track into this left-hander. You might see a sideways Valley Sports car around this next corner. No. Oh, I'm glad I wasn't proven right there, but there's part of me thinking, oh, there it is. And he's going to park it.
I tell you what, the problem with these Rally Esports and the Epic cars is they sort of camouflage in as well, don't they, to the walls?
They do actually as well. They've.
Oh,
now stop.
Now down the inside.
Yeah, holds down the inside, as you rightly say. Out braking, late braking, wheels banging, and ahead. The Dutchman leads. Sven Gale leads this race for Project Racer Masunda Motorsports. Frelick has got to go to Plan B.
How did he get down the inside then? It's the question, because Frelick's been brilliant at it all the way through. His Hoekstra goes past Pericki and into P5. Big slide for Helhoed as well. Up St. Francisco Hill and through the windy streets of Macau. So Frelick's going to stick on him. I don't know whether maybe Frelick had a bit of a slide or something. We saw them go past Kanani as well, who's Helhoed's teammate. Wonder if he managed to give some slipstream or some sort of assistance to his teammate. But it doesn't make sense. Frelick's been so wise to that move down the inside, and for whatever reason, Helhoed was alongside, but early on as well, David.
He was. I suspect that he's either got tremendous run and just timed it right, or the back marker might have gone out of the way, because I can't see. Frelick's a wise fox, he is sort of what I call like street smart when it comes to racing, he's wise to that sort of thing. So yeah, it doesn't make sense to me either, but the thing is as well, now Gerrit's been used to following Frelick, particularly through where we are on board with now with Stoffmeal. Can Gerrit now adjust to switching roles basically and now being the leader rather than the chaser?
Yeah, it's a great point, because braking zones change, don't they? Here you're anticipating the braking of the car in front, whereas when you've got clean air, you're braking to a braking point. So very good point, David. And this is where we're on board of Shanna Stoffmeal behind Tizana. Tizana's a bit of a roadblock in this race, 12 seconds down. Obviously got passed by Binz earlier on before Binz retired, so let's see what Stoffmeal can do, especially through the last two corners here, through Fisherman's, and then down the straight into the final corner. He's going to have a nice long run. If he's sensible, he stays there. There's Frelick trying to come back. A bit of touch as well.
And again, there it is, a bit more contact, side right wheel to side pod that time. Oh, there we go.
Both in.
There we go. Yunt's going to be rubbing his hands. And they've both got a front wing off. Both of them. Front wing's gone. Yunt is going to take the lead.
It was silly as well, that's the problem. It was needless, it was silly, it was, Helhoed had the corner. He was there, he was on the inside, he was ahead, it was just a little bit silly from both of them, I feel.
I was just praising Frelick up as well. Wise old fox. Everything, all that, bigging him up. Nah, just bin it.
The wise old fox. It is the wise old fox. So we've seen him do this in various races, the various things. Stafford Yunt, all of a sudden, is going to lock himself into it, but he's got to realise that these two cars are damaged in front of him. Will know how far ahead they were.
Yeah, he'll realise he's closed up too quickly. He must think, yeah, these guys must have damage because he closed up far too quickly.
No, Leho's 2 seconds behind. He can afford to pick his spot to get through here. He doesn't. Oh my lord! He doesn't have to charge past them. He doesn't.
That's very, very true. Now Frelick actually, interestingly, 5.5 seconds gap to Gerrit. Now, when they do pit, as Taseo actually pits.
Do they pit?
Here's the thing.
If you're Frelick, you've got 6 seconds at the moment. Do you pit? You can see Helhoed struggling a little bit without the front wing.
Now here's the thing.
Frelick's just in the wall.
Morally, yes, you do. We'll find out now, I guess. Here comes Frelick, and he is going to hit.
Oh, that's a little bit boring, isn't it?
Yeah. That's it, but they do both pit. Yunt takes the lead of this race. Leho is going to be in second position, and Wolfke Hoekstra, third place. Fantastic stuff for Scuderia Frecanera. You're obviously going to see Tisano move up a couple places as well, but let's see where these guys are going to come out. I'm very interested in that because they was quite far ahead, but I still expect them to be at the back of the field.
They'll be 14th, I think, behind Milan Court. I think it's about 45 seconds, I think, for a pit stop ish, give or take. So I'd expect them to be P14. There or thereabouts. Actually, it's not a bad stop at all, is it?
I think Frelick, now I'm not too sure, obviously, but...
Tizzano's in the pits as well, so Tizzano's had a problem.
I wonder if any of the other guys, like, fill up fuel or something like that, but Frelick there in 11, and Sven Gelhode has a penalty as well. That must be for speeding in the pit lane.
I'll tell you what that does do, David. Look at his position on track at the moment. Takes him out of reverse grid pole.
It does. Oh, that's gutting. Now, Court then will be in obviously the right position there. Tizzano also in the pits as well. He must have had damage of some kind. But let's have a refresh because there's been a lot happening in a very short space of time. Yunt leads from Leho, Hoekstra, Parakian, Branton, Bloomshine, Stoffmill, Hutt, Gut, and Ashenko rounding out the top 10 as well. But Frelick is on as a man on a mission. He's lost the lead. He's now at the top 10. Lap 8, so we're two-thirds of the way through here. Probably got another, what about 12, 13 minutes of this race to go. He's going to be a man on a mission.
At the moment, he is all over the place trying to get through. I think there's someone without a rear wing.
Oh, Ashenko's done the no wing trick again. That's a new fashion, obviously, in Russia at the moment. And bang into the wall. There he goes again.
But Frelick was in the wall trying to get past him as well, so I don't know if he's got any damage. Gerrit following. And I just get the feeling of these two now, there's just a bit of frustration coming out in the way they're driving, isn't there? You know, they were side by side for the lead, and all of a sudden they're in the pack, and there's chaos ensuing around them.
Yeah, I'll be pissed off as well, I'm not going to lie. If that was me fighting for the lead of the race, now you're back here, fighting this slot. Not exactly where you want to be. That's right, Gale. Yeah, I think he has still got his front wing, he's just been banging the walls a little bit. But, I say, not too bad. But here we are on board with Frelick. He's got Vincent Gut ahead of him in the, I believe that's the Epic Racing car ahead. Here we go, turning into the final corner, and now we're going to actually see that Super Venturi straight line speed down here, all the way running up to the likes of Mandarin and Lisboa. Here we go. Oh, look at that, already got the slipstream, already got the run, and it's going to be passed before Mandarin. Gerrit in the pits, obviously. I think that must be a drive-through, but Ashenko was in the pits as well to repair all that damage. He's going to have Delara. He's going to have like Delara part sponsorship at this rate. Ashenko, all the wings needs to be flying off his car. But there he is, Frelick up into 9th. There's our gap to the leaders, 1.7 seconds.
So Tizzano up into P12, so he's pitted and he's back up into P12, but then because of Ashenko's troubles, Gelhode's only, 2 seconds off reverse grid pole? So no, Branson almost into the back of Parakian.
I don't think you get that close even during an MOT. That's frighteningly close.
And if you get Branson, if you think about where you started this race and you see what's happened at the front of the pack, lost Nizio, lost Reichel, not lost, but Frelick and Gelhode have dropped out, and you're thinking, how have I not won? How am I 5th in this race? How am I not up in the front? It'll be gutting for him.
He will, especially after, qualifying or pre-qualifying at the front of the field as he hits the wall on the right-hand side. I think that's what it's been. Too much wall tapping, not like hitting really hard, but he's been tapping the walls a lot. I know it's in qualifying as well.
Yeah.
It's not only slowing him down, but it's going to be frustrating as well because you lose your momentum.
There is a bit of crabbing as well, though.
Oh, look at that!
Might have just been one wall tap too far.
It says, okay, so Kanani there now, a lap down. Still going to keep going though. He might find a bit of a long shot, but he might find himself in a chance for reverse grid pole if it really kicks off ahead. But 2 and a bit laps to go now. Yunt leads here by 2.3 seconds out of Hoekstra, Leho, Hoekstra, Parakian, Branton, and Co. And there, look at that, Shimon Frelick at 208.7 with more than likely a damaged car as well.
Yeah, so that's the frustration coming out. He's flying, isn't he? And he's got a nice bit of clean air. Now, interestingly, he was 10 seconds down on Hutt about a lap and a half ago. He's already down to 6.9, 6.6, and flying. He might get up to P8. There's every chance he can get up to P8, even though he was 10 seconds down with 4 laps left. So, you know, he's so much faster at the moment.
No, only
Probably
there
about 3
time
seconds.
as well.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
plenty of retirements as well, David, as you said, Clowney out.
They're having a mother's meeting at this rate. Is that many of them in the pit lane? Or at least, you know, maybe a big Just Eats order or something to keep them entertained in the meantime.
I don't.
Oh, yeah, I've got you thinking now, and what am I going to order?
Yeah.
Oh, Guillaume Branson there, losing down the inside.
He can't get through. He's so much faster. I wonder whether this is a setup thing because he's always close to this middle sector. Can't get anywhere near by the time they get to Lisboa. So, no, we've been talking about this. Oh, someone's in the place. And there's another one.
Oh, where's the car?
And that's so unlucky for Bloomshine as well because he's been fantastic, isn't he? Bloomshine up in the top 6. I think Stoffmiller got through. I think it was a Schenko.
Wow, that's
sad.
Insane.
It was. It's you know, Branton's probably got damage as Tizano hits the wall. That might let Gerrit up into P12, you know. But Branson was flying. He's going to be out of the race.
So let's rewind that. That was who was that in the wall at the start?
It was a Schenko. It's a Schenko, and then Branton's gone in.
Hit the tyre. Yeah, there's a Schenko there. And
Branson's gone in.
Oh, what's he done?
He's just clipped the inside wall, I think. He's going to come through the right-hander. He's going to clip the inside wall. There you go, and he just fired him left. And the problem is that he's got no time to react, really, because the next car comes through. Branson.
Bang.
Bang, and then poor Tobias Blumschein, who's been brilliant to get up into the top 6, arrives with 2 cars across the track and nowhere to go.
That is really, really bad luck there for Branson and for Bloomshine as well. Anthony Schenko as well, who just clipped the wall very, very slightly, but in the barrier. I've got to admit though, that was the perfect strike from Guillaume Branson as well, to clip the wall and go nose in on.
He saw the tyre, didn't he? He saw the tyre, and I think he just freaked him a little bit.
Yeah.
Because you could see as soon as he saw the tyre in the middle of the road, he swerved, didn't he? So it's a shame. Bloomshine though has managed to come out of the pits in P10. So not all is lost for the Team Irish driver. That's good news because, as we said, you know, to come in for this special event and then we were talking them up about new faces in the league, and he got up to P6. So it's good that he's been able to carry on, even despite that bit of misfortune.
Absolutely. Say reverse grid as well. Gale has recovered. And it's looking in a fantastic position here to get that. Now, is he going to hold station, just get set for the pole, or is he going to try and pass Tizano? There's only 3/10 the gap between them.
I'd pass Tizano. If you pass him and tuck into slipstream on lap 1, is what I would do.
Yep.
I know that's easier said than done, because Tizano has been the moving roadblock all night. He's been pretty good defensively, isn't he? So
he has. He has only 15 runners and riders to finish this race off. Junts has started his final lap as well. Oh, and a mistake there. Oh, and he gets away with it. Wow, look at that. He could just very easily not only damage the car but lost position there, but he just got away with it.
The problem is you have to react to the car going off in front of you, so you hesitate, and that's why you can't jump on it around the street circuit like Macau.
Yep. That is indeed.
One more chance, isn't he, down into Lisboa on the last lap?
He is. Here we go. But here we are. David Junts going through sector 2, and he's got a nice gap of nearly, well, about 1.5 second gap there for him and Laho as well, and then them two got 13 seconds out of Hoekstra as well. But he's been very quietly going about his business himself. He's going to reward himself with a podium finish here in race number 1. And the best day for Scuderia Fraccanera in GPU this season for sure, you know, having cars 1st, 3rd and 11th as here, but it might be 12th as Gerrit now looking down inside into Lisboa. Oh, and Tisano breaks very late. Is he going to survive? Yes, he
Oh,
is.
well played.
Great defence there from Tisano.
Yeah, I thought for all the world that was Halehoy's corner.
Here comes David Junt round, coming up to the final corner, and it's been, with respect to him, a David Junt drive. You know, not spectacular, but consistently on the pace, and he's going to reward himself here with victory here at Macau. David Junt takes the checkered flag ahead of Alex Laho, and Wopke Hoekstra is going to round off the podium. Again, a very, very quiet but consistent drive from the Dutchman, and there it is. P3 for him. Oliver Parakian is going to come home in an event which, in a race that should have been so much more for Super Venturi. They was looking almost dominant at the front of the field. They're going to have a best finish of 4th. Sene Stoffmeal is going to come home in 5th. Shimon Frelich recovers to 6th position after all of that. He nipped ahead of Dan Hutt at the end. There it is. Vincent Gutt is quite a wise back. He's going to be almost like the hairpin. Actually, no, there he is. P8 in the Epic Racing car. And you got Milan Court, who started at the back of the grid. He's going to finish P9. Great result for him.
Yeah.
In the Senedit's racing car. And then Bloomshine, unfortunately, could have been so much more. But impressive show nonetheless. He's going to round up in P number 10. But has definitely got the pace there as well. Sven Gerhode's going to be really disappointed. Obviously, the crash and a penalty for him is going to be P11 for him. Tisano 12th. Michael Teichmann 13th place. And Scott Morris is going to be the final finisher, with Guillaume Branson also retiring.
So crucially then, so Halehoy did get past Tisano on the last lap somewhere. Then wonder where he got that done, because he was behind at Lisboa. So it must have been a brave move or a mistake from Tisano.
Very possibly. Well, Tisano made a mistake, I think, a lap before, didn't he?
He did, yeah.
It's that right-hander, so it might have been a repeat of that, potentially. But that is the final finisher. Scott Morris there, 14th position for TR powered by Geeks Energy. That is all of that, and there is the result. I'd say David Junt taking victory here in race number 1 ahead of Laho and Hoekstra. And there is the rest of the remaining finishers all spread out, all having their own adventures and stories to share from that particular race, which they get to do all over again in a few moments' time for race number 2. There we are, the likes of Branson, Ashenko, Kanani, Dezeu, Binst, both Valley Sports cars there, retiring. Terence Gretchen, earlier retirement as well. And then you've got Kenwright, Reichel, and Nizio as well. For Super Venturi as well. That's been race number 1. I'll so have more of the same in a few minutes' time for race number 2. But between now and then, we're going to get a drink, have a break. We'll see in about 5 minutes' time, ready for race number 2. See you in a bit. Welcome back, everybody. Back in the broadcast with DC here. Mr. Gale alongside me. Back for race number 2. Now, what we've just learned is that the first race was a qualification race, which means that the finishing order will be the starting order for race number 2, the main race. So, really, basically, race 1 was a sort yourselves out type of race, and race 2 is
sprint qualifying.
Yeah, that's it.
Everyone's favourite thing.
Now, what we really now is like a 1 hour race instead of 12 laps, really, to be like the main race, isn't it? But we'll be here all night, I reckon, and I don't think there'll be many front wings left for the people to put on the cars either. So I think
what we're really trying to say here, David, is where we went on all the time in the last 5 laps of who's going to be 12th for reverse grid. Forget all of that.
Yeah,
it's David Yunt on pole.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Now, yeah, good old Yunt on pole position for race, or the main race, we could call it now as well. He's used to that after what happened in Super Cup a few years ago with me. Thanks, Yunt, for all those reverse grid poles and victories you got for me back in the day. Much appreciated. Yeah, not fixed, no.
Yeah,
no one got paid.
Yeah, okay.
Well, you did, but that was a different matter. But no, it's good times anyway. But good to see him back, and actually got in that team. They got another one of my old drivers there as well. Well, Wopker as well. We had a laugh. I'll tell you one funny story. Actually, we went for a warm up. Doing a race at Russia, and we had a rough race one with Wopker and I said, "Oh, let's just have fun in race 2." And bear in mind at the time I was playing Foot Manager Save as well, we're really into it. And I remember race 2 started, first lap, Bob got taken out by, I can't remember who it was, but he got wiped out, had to pit. He gets in a pit, so I say to him, I'll put the server up. We put Foot Manager up, I say, forget racing, Wopka, let's just play Foot Manager again.
So yeah, that was... Do you want me to get the campfire and the guitar out now ready? After that story?
I've got more. Really? More than that. Yeah, but I probably have to wait till 11 o'clock for those stories. I must admit, all the kids go to bed. But yeah, it's if you got any marshmallows as well, that would help.
Oh, don't. Ooh, marshmallows on a campfire, lovely.
Yeah, it's not bad, is it? I'll tell you what. Also try a warm cream egg. Don't melt it, but just warm up on the campfire.
A warm cream egg, right?
Warm cream egg.
You spent too long away from me, David. This is what happens when I leave for a week. You go a bit. Anyway,
that's all right.
Cars are getting lined up on the grid, David.
It'd be Malcolm Reed videos next.
Oh, good lord.
The cars are indeed lining up for this formation. We've got time, and they've about 5 minutes going around the formation lap. I mean, let's be serious. Let's be serious now. It's going to be a fiery race number 2. If race 1 was entertaining enough and chaotic enough, race 2 will certainly be as well, as the cars will go off for their formation lap. A few names to look out for at the back of this field or mid-pack. Obviously, your likes of Gale Branton, who, as I said earlier, got the pre-qualifying fastest lap time, but it's going to be David Yunt who leads them away from pole position ahead of Laho. Wopke Hoekstra is going to be there as well, ahead of Parakian. Frelick, Hart, Gutt and Court will round out 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th. Bloomshine, Gerhode, Tizano and Teichmann 9th, 10th, 11th and 12th. Watch out for Gerhode, he's going to be in a fiery mood after that last race as well. Morris, Branton in 14th, one to look out for Ashenko and Kanani. And we've got Tezeu, Gretsch, Ken Wright as well, trying to please his fans. Hopefully he'll last a bit longer than last time. Won't be difficult. Reichel, P20, and Nizio 21, so a couple of cars who have not bothered to turn up for the second race. But 21 cars will be the grid for this one.
Vince is definitely one of those who hasn't entered the second race.
Yeah, that's up spot on. Yeah, he's not one of those. I can't remember the other one off the top of my head now. Oh, thanks, Gerrit. I really appreciate that. Sonny Stoffmeal is the man who is also not going to be taking part in this. You know, it's perfect, Ewan. 2 spaces out, us in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I tell you what, I'm gonna take a leaf out of Milan quarterback of slow and steady. Doesn't quite win you the race, but it gets you a few points, doesn't it?
It does, and to be fair, if you look at the championship standings, what's happened in the season so far, it's more points than GT Omega in year 1 got all year. So
Yeah.
and they're not here. So
and this is what we said earlier, though, David, isn't it? Is that fast isn't necessarily fast around Macau.
Yeah, you're spot on there. You know, you could be blistering for a lap, whack a wall, take your front wing off, and
this is why I'm excited about this race. Though, is that there's a lot of people out of position on pace merit.
Yeah.
No, Frelick P5 is going to have a charge on, as you mentioned during the grid rundown. Gale in P10 as well. So, you know, a lot of fireworks, I think, coming up. Branson P14 as well.
Another name as well we didn't see in the first race, Terence Greck as well, P18. Nisio as well, right at the back of the field. He was up there at times as well. So a few drivers out there looking to, you know, gain redemption out of this second race. There is Yunt there we are, park up nicely. Oh, and again, he's not happy with his position there, but there is the grid lining up for this second race. There is the also lovely pit lights. Great view of the Macau pit straight there with the flags flying, the blue skies beaming down on this circuit as well. But the lights will now go on any second now. As there's a car has gone into the pits there as well. Parakian in the pit lane. And away they go. And Yun's got a decent start there as well. Laho in a good position to take advantage of the slipstream as well. There's tucked in right behind the Scuderia's gearbox. It's up towards Meridian for the first time. And they all get through. Yes, they do. There's Parakin at the back of the field as well after starting for the pit lane. Down towards Lisboa, and Hoekstra's got his nose down the inside. Are they all going to get through? 3 wide behind, but they all get past and into position. They all survived.
Yeah, good racing from everyone there. Really, really impressive to make sure that there was no contact through the first few corners, and Yun almost managed to drag Hoekstra up into P2.
There we go. Is that what I think it is? Is that kept right again? Yes, it is. In the wall, and there's a front wing gone as well somewhere, not from Ken, right?
No, which means it's probably had a tap from somebody, isn't he?
It's the Sun Edit's car to our right. And
Yeah,
there's the contact. It is the Sun Edit's car, and I suspect, yeah, Terence Gretsch it is as well. When is he going to get any luck? I've seen the last few races I've seen him do, even elsewhere, he has had no luck whatsoever as this man.
I do feel like he maybe could have just come off the gas there, Terence, because he wasn't really. It was a bit tight for that corner, I think.
Yeah.
And in fairness to Ken Wright, I think he was just ahead, so you know, it wasn't malicious, and it probably wasn't anything bad, but you know, a bit unfortunate. But probably 60-40 on Grex. For there is Deserve and Branson are side by side into the hairpin, I think.
Interestingly, there was passes going into that area, and oh, here we go. Sif Venturi sandwich. Valley sports car there as well. Perikian having. What is going on
This
here?
comes from Deserve and Branson were side by side ahead.
Oh, there's the car park. There's the boat car. I noticed there's a pass going into that head. I'm like, they should be passing there. So
I noticed on the timing screen. Oh, there's already contact. That's why.
That is a weird one because they all should be just in line, not really going side by side. There's no reason to. So a very, very strange one there. Gresh already in the pits with obviously his missing front wing. Frelick is up into 3rd position already. Now, he's going to be man on a mission. This is a man on a mission. Gerrit already up to 6th position from, what was it, 11th on the grid?
10th, because
10th on the
Stoffmill
grid.
withdrew.
Yes, spot on. There, he's had a fly, and also of course it helped that Pirakian started from the pit lane as well. Now, other guys with
Oh, he hit the wall.
Intermission,
Oh, no,
he did
sorry,
hit
it
the
was
wall
caught.
there.
It was caught in the sun edit, sorry.
Nigio as well from the back of the grid up to 16th as well, but he's got a 10-second gap to Branton. Obviously after that carnage happened at the hairpin. In sector 3. But here comes Hutt. No,
this is where it's difficult for Milan Courtier, because in race 1 he started at the back, he was driving at his own speed, he was nice and fluid, and he got to the end, and that's why he had such a good finishing position. The problem is now he's driving in his mirror, so he's not really driving at his pace, he's driving somewhere near Dan Hutt's pace. That's why you start to see a few little errors, running a little bit wide. It's because he's not really racing his own race. So really, he needs to look forward, and if someone goes past him, they go past him. This is where it gets a bit dangerous. This is where you see then these chain reaction accidents happening as Morris drops down the field. I think Morris might have had a problem.
yes, he has. I've just noticed his name dropping down a little bit. Car 13 in 13th place into TR car. And it looks like there. Ooh. Yeah, it looks a bit tight now. The steering is still straight on that car. I thought he might have been crabbing a little bit, but no, it's
up
fine.
ahead though.
Oh, it's Sashenko as Laho has set the fastest lap of the race of 2:10.1, well off the pace actually, and what they can actually do. But here comes Sashenko around the outside, going to try and get the swooping run behind Knani. He gets ahead already.
That's what you were saying about Leho, by the way, doing the fastest lap. Freddie came across the line, did a 2:08.9, so blew that out of the water straight away. And he's only 1.2 off the lead now, so it's going to be a threesome up front very shortly.
It is, as Tizano in the middle of this, a battle of Hutt and Court still, and Bloomshine now P7 as well, a decent start on this race. It's already 1/4 way through this race almost already. I see Teichmann's had problems as well. He's in the back of the field with Gretsch as well. Must have been a front wing change for Teichmann. And a penalty as well on top of that did not help him. But here goes, we're watching here, Tizano in Pima Minot. Again, these 3 Scuderia cars, we're going to have 1st, 4th, 9th as it stands. And they was there to pick up the pieces in the first race. Are they going to be able to go again and do the same thing as Vincent Gunn now? He's doing his job in a bit of a roadblock as well. He didn't set the world alight in speed pace the first race, but he got himself in a good position. He has done in this one as well. Bloomshine is there to make it difficult for him.
Bralick and Leho. Leo's got a problem. Leo's dropping.
There's a front wing I saw there as well on the left side.
Leho's out.
Oh, it'd be interesting if we get a replay of that one. I think that's into here. Yes, it is. So
has he gone into the back of you?
Oh, wow, he's gone into the wall.
Who's that? Is that Freddie?
That's Freddie. I'm sorry, I couldn't help that. I did not expect that. I must admit, I did not expect that at all.
But what's happened here? It almost looks like a problem for Leho the way he's gone in. It does, because it looks like a technical problem, and it's almost as if Frelick is. Now we're talking in race 1 about how you break in from the guy in front. It looks as if Frelick's just followed him.
Yeah, it's like he's used Leho as a guide almost, and realised as soon as he's in the wall, it's fine.
Shenko and Kanani must have crashed as well, because they're in the pits as well. Frelick's DNF'd, so it's all going on. And Gale up into P3.
Yes, so arguably the favourite of this event is out of the race, after his starting position as well. But now it's a Scuderia Freckle 1-2, Jonten Hoekstra up the front of the field. Gerrit, though, isn't here to mess around. He is here to make up time and gain places, and that's exactly what he's doing on the back of Hoekstra now. Yacht in 4th, Tizano 5th to make it Scuderia Freckle 1-2-5.
Oh, Hoekstra's all out of shape.
Oh, he's got the wheel. Oh, they're banging wheels as well. The two Dutchmen side by side. And Gerrit's in the barrier. There he gets away with it though, but is that going to be a damaged rear right corner? Oh, Rocker! Oh, that's a dodgy line he took there.
Not like Rocker, it's always all over the place in the sector.
Yeah, I know, and he's super consistent in the first one. Maybe it's just maybe a bit of mirror watching. It's easily done around here. You just get offline ever so slightly. Obviously, Gerrit's going to have to back off into the hairpin because you can't pass here. Permanent yellow flag zone. And Wopke there gets another corner. But here comes the Slipstream Masunda Motorsport car here on board with it. Look at the speed of the pickup there in Slipstream. And Gale there, he's rapid there in a straight line. Couldn't do anything with it, of course. Be sensible though, just wait to the exit of here and then get the job done into an outer Mandarin.
Yeah, especially when Hoekstra goes wide again, but now he's got to tuck in, you think.
Now here's the thing, right? Now, devil's advocate maybe, if Wopke lifted off there, let him through, and then get him back in Slipstream, that could have been interesting. Positioning. Is Wopke going to move? Is Wopke going to break the toe here? Is he going to move right?
He's got to move right. He's got to defend the inside, which is exactly why he didn't.
He just didn't do it.
Halehoyd will go through. It's almost as if he knew that Halehoyd had the pace, and just let him get on with it.
Yeah.
You know, he's got a bit of a buffer to Vincent Gut in P4. It's Tizano.
Tizano. Oh, there's a car in the background. I suspect there's been contact.
Blumshane.
Blumshane again. There's been contact. There's got to have been contact here. I reckon Blumshane's outbraked himself, hit the wheel, sent Tizano into the wall. What's this? Oh, and then he loses it.
Oh, Tizano lost it on his own.
Yeah, that is not what I was expecting.
No.
Actually, but unfortunate. But Milan Court, look at this. Milan Court now.
7.
He's going to be into six. He's going to be into 6. Any second now. Branton as well.
Oh no!
Oh, Milan. Just as we're
the one thing he
it.
hasn't done all night.
Yep. Now, as that damage to the car, it looks like the steering's a little bit wonky.
It looks manageable though.
Yeah, it does. It's not completely out of sync. Oh, and he's very deep there again. Gets away with it as well, as we see Morris is dropping down through the field. There he is as well, P13. Again, and there he is. And
that would be why.
What's he done there? Or was he... Oh, okay.
Just lost
there we go. And amazingly, that wheel has not actually come off. It's in the barrier. It's stuck in the barrier. He is stuck in the barrier, and he's retired as well. So that's another one gone. Down to 17 runners. We're halfway through this race. And again, one, it's absolute carnage again. And two, I've just realised I'm actually on board these cars now. Super Venturi again in a decent position to get a great result. And are in a bad position on track. They're number 1, and you know it's realistically out of the race. These two down in 10th and 11th places.
9th and 10th was Tizano pitch, but what you've got to remember, David, is that these two. So Nizio started at the back, Perikian started from the pit, and then they were both in that crazy melee that was started by Branson and Deserve at the hairpin. So they've had a lot of contact, and they're still flying in 9th and 10th. So
yeah,
look at where they'll probably get to. Perhaps Branton Court, maybe. In that,
yeah, I'll say Branson's going to be a difficult one to pass, I think, because he's got some pace on him. He's just in a bad position.
Yeah.
The rest of them ahead, difficult to say. But I'll tell you one thing, Gale has reeled in a little bit, but not as much as we were expecting. I was expecting maybe like a second half, 2 seconds a lap. The gap isn't really coming down. Well, it was about 1.4 1.5 last time round.
That was the first time he's managed to. The lap before was pretty nondescript, to be honest. Yeah. So you're right. Expect it to be a bit closer by now. Still half of the race to go, though. Plenty of time for him to reel him in. Of course, getting through is a different prospect entirely.
is as now we're on board with Oliver Perrick here now in 10th position, going through that right-hand jump almost. You sort of send it in and hope that it grips up the front end as you go over the jump. And hoping it grips up. There's the rear end lost there, but as you say, great car control, catches it nicely. Rear end losing a little bit of grip, but gets it back again. And Nizio is obviously leading this double act here of Nizio and Parakian up to the back of Max Reichel. There, the yellow flag in sector 3. Who has binned that? I suspect it's DeZeo, but the way he's dropping back in time in P12. And there's the retirement there as well for DeZeo. I suspect it's going to be the hairpin.
Yes, deserving to hairpin. Outbroke himself.
Base smarts himself into the wall.
Yeah.
And game over. That was Zashenko up to 13th place, Gretsch to 14th, Knani to 15th, Time to 16th. As Vincent Gutt now has got Hutt ahead of him. These two have been welded together because I keep saying Hutt and Gutt, or pretty much all event long in the same.
Yeah, and they keep swapping places as well.
Yeah. Here they go again into this technical section here, as there's a little jump there, gets out of the corner nicely. Vincent Gutt though seems to be getting better as the event goes on. It's P5 and keeping out of trouble the whole event.
Yeah, and this is really the beauty of a street circuit like Macau, is it is, you know, you don't, as we said all the way through, it's not necessarily the fastest comes out on top. No, the guys who are going around and getting the business done nicely, smoothly, neatly, they're really reaping the rewards here. So, you know, a lot of the faster guys have hit trouble. Frelick hit trouble, Leho hit trouble, or we think that was more technical than a driver error. Gale in the first race, in the quali race, says that's Nizio, so that's another crash for Casper Nizio.
Nizio has gone into the wall, and let's have a look at replay.
Oh.
That looks like a teammate going into the wall as well. There's one. There's a sideways. There's a rear wing gone. And that is that's all the Super Venturis out of the race now.
That sums up their night, doesn't it?
Yep.
It completely sums up the night for Super Venturi, because it looks so promising. And
promising and an absolute disaster.
Yeah.
At the same time. 3 drivers, 3 DNFs, pack up and go home, boys. Your evening session is done and dusted, but thanks for turning up at least. You know, you put on a good show, but unfortunately no bragging rights to take away from this. I was trying to think of a decent thing to say there, but bragging rights is all I can come up with for that. But now we're down to 14 runners. Just the 14. Court's in the pits. He's lost the front wing, I assume.
Yeah, Yunt almost did as well into the brick wall in the middle sector. He was so close to getting it all wrong. Still got 5 seconds to Gale. To be fair, Yunt's into the 209s now, so trying to put up a bit of resistance as well.
Ken Wright, I just noticed Ken Wright is up in the top 10. I'm thinking to myself, great, he's actually, you know, up there, he's getting positions, he's in the pits as well, so he can't get a break here today. But that is going to actually promote, potentially, Terence Gretsch into the top 10 as well. Will Ken Wright there in the pits for Optiminal Esports.
Court managed to get out though. Court managed to get out in the top 10 still, so Milan Court had a stunning night, hasn't he?
He has, you know, that's a pretty good day.
Oh, Branson's DNF'd. Reichels into P6, Branson's DNF'd.
Dropping like flies.
And that does put Greg into the top 10.
It does. Here we go. What's going to happen here, Guillaume? That's what's going to happen, Guillaume.
Got a bit greedy.
Bit greedy. Black and yellow barriers.
Pretty much the same as Nizio.
Yeah?
Pretty much the same as Nizio. Exactly the same as Nizio, actually. And this time the teammate car didn't come and clobber the stricken leader. So yeah, Branson out, Reichel into 6, Tazano 7, Ashenko up into P8. If what an eventful evening Ashenko's had, he's up into P8.
I know, right?
9th after pitting.
He'd be smashing wings to celebrate this. He will be.
Hey, it's about when you smash your wings.
Yeah, it's very true. That is very true. Tell you what, though, all the food-related stuff we've said tonight is another thing.
I
That's
know.
wings now. Oh, yeah.
Oh, don't do it. I tell you what, there are only 13 drivers left, David.
I know. What is this going to? You know, it's been a race of it's been an event of attrition. Like the whole, obviously, first race, a load of retirements as well. This one the same way. What's that? 8 retirements, and then 13 left with what 3 and a bit laps to go. But Yunt now is going to be very, very intense. Less than 3 seconds, 2.5 seconds now between the leader and Gerrit now. You'll be able to see now in certain shots. You'll be able to see the back of Yunt's car. There it is. And that'd be a great motivator now for Sven, actually be able to see the target ahead of him. Rather than just
2 seconds on the last lap was the difference. 2:08.9 for Gerrit, 2:10.9 for Yunt. So a slower lap for Yunt last time round, with 3 tenths in the first sector already on this lap. And that's where we think that Yunt is stronger. Yeah, another 7 tenths in the middle sector. Coming down to the hairpin now, through the left-hander. Yunt looks as if he made a bit of a mistake there as well. That gap looks a lot closer.
Sven Gerrit in this season, his best result a P3. That came in race 2 at Catalonia. He also had 3 fourth positions in a race 1. That was at Red Bull Ring, Mugello and Zandvoort as well. And his worst, apart from retirements, his worst result was actually 10th position. So he's always been consistent, reaping the rewards of others falling off around him. And that might be exactly the case here in this evening's race, starting further back in this grid.
And a lot of his poorer results, David, were through having to avoid incidents that really he wasn't part of. You know, if anyone does deserve a race victory in this event, it probably is Sven.
Tell you what, though, it's not the first fast Dutch Sven we've come across in the past. Also, we had Sven de Vries lost time out as well at the Norris Ring. And got another one on our hands here as well. Been lightning quick. Never been, say, all's the bridesmaid, never the bride this season. But picking up the pieces and taking some fantastic results. And arguably here, taking the biggest one of the lot here this evening, if he can get himself ahead of the Swiss driver ahead of him, David Yunt. But Yunt's been really good as well. You know, leading this whole race, you know, again, another one who's taken advantage, more ways than one. Leading out these two, but I can't see how Yunt's going to defend this, sadly. It's very close now. What's that, about half a second distance?
Half second distance. All he's got to do is make sure he's got the perfect drive out the final corner, get himself lined up as a bit of car all over the circuit again, so I don't know who has had an incident this time. But all he's got to do is get out the final corner, get it lined up, get the traction, and stay well to the right after Mandarin.
Here he goes, he's got to line himself up right in the back of the Scuderia Freca gearbox as Yunt hits the wall on the left hand side. Gets out of it though, but that is a perfect striking distance here for Sven to set himself up for one of these straights.
That was nice from Davido. If he can repeat that through the final corner, you know, he just eked a bit of a gap out. If he can do the same thing, it was really, really nicely done. Yeah, again, really, really good solid driving from David in there. Just gives him a bit of breathing room. It should give him enough time to just set himself up for the run down to Mandarin. He can dictate now the line. Gerrit probably won't get him into Mandarin, so now you can really dictate the line into Lisboa as well. Here we go, through the right hander at Mandarin. It narrows up. Big slipstream for Gerrit. But Yunt had the space to dictate that line. Now he's got the inside line. Braking zone is crucial. Can he hold on to the lead? Gerrit on the outside, he won't get that done.
Oh, he makes right.
Switch back.
Oh, and there is the contact now. Front wing survive there for Sven. Really unfortunate there, but a great piece of racecraft there from Sven. Almost pulled off. Yunt made a small error. And through luck, if not judgment, holds his position and holds the race lead for now at least, with 1.5 laps to go. But Raikkonen now, quietly gone around his business. Is he going to be able to make the move? Now on Vincent Gutt, yes he can. Positions his car nicely up into 5th position for Mode Auto Concepts.
Now we know that he was fast in qualifying, had a bit of trouble in the qualifying race, but back up into the top 5 for Mode, as you said. As Ashenko, I think, has had another issue and out of the top 10, unfortunately, for Sun Edits.
Oh, I saw front wing off the car there as well. Oh, it's not where... Oh. Okay.
He spun at the top of the hill. He spun at the top of the hill.
Oh.
A long way up the top of the hill. To be fair, what he's done here is actually really heads-up driving. He knows what happened in the first race, and he's just reversed the hell out of there.
Yeah, as well. He has.
Because he can see a car coming. What you don't want to do here is you don't want to hit escape and cause a glitch as a car's going past you. So he's just getting out the way as much as he can.
Probably spin the timer and thought, right, I can do this.
So in fairness, I think that's pretty heads-up driving.
It is. It's just a little bit strange. I was just, when you don't expect anything like that. It's like,
okay. No, totally agree.
That's fine. So that's Ashenko out, caught in the pits. We're down to 12.
Oh, here we go. Oh, look at that!
Oh,
no,
there it is. What is going to happen there? They're both in the wall.
David Yunt
has squeezed Gale into the wall. That looked like there. Now,
did naughty.
Wopke Hoekstra is going to take the lead out of this. What is this? What's going on here? So, slipstream.
No,
oh my goodness
David.
me! Oh wow!
I don't like apportioning blame when I'm commentating because it's not my job. It's a DC's job. But that was a bit over the line for me because Lloyd had the run. But that's what happens on the last lap at Macau, isn't it? You want to get the win. So Hutt's into P2 ahead of Hoekstra. What sort of damage has Yunt got?
Now this is the final lap as well.
Yeah, what sort of damage has Yunt got? He's got front wing. He should get it home from you.
I think he will. Now Gerrit will be absolutely gutted, and I'm really upset for him actually because he's been fantastic.
I don't think he'll be gutted. I think he'll be furious with that because he had such a big run and he's just been squeezed into the wall.
Yeah, that's well put there. I think you're probably more accurate there, but he looked so good this whole event. Pace. He had the incident in the first race, but okay.
Where he was down the inside and it was probably his corner. No, I called it at the time that it was one of those unlucky where they probably both felt they should have been entitled to the corner, but it wasn't really anyone's fault. So it was a racing incident that put him down the order. He's come all the way back through, and then for that to happen, it's just wretched luck.
Now, obviously, one Formula 3 race that took part with a wingless race winner. Michael Schumacher, all those years ago, 1989. That was then.
That was contact with Hakkinen, wasn't it?
It was. Now, 33 years later, we're going to see a wingless car take the checkered flag here as well. David Yunt, the Swiss driver, took race 1 win. He's taking the 2nd win here as well. It's Macau. Congratulations, but not without controversy. Dan Hutz and Hoekstra makes it P2 and P3. Hoekstra another fantastic finish for him. Max Raikkonen going to come home in 4th position as well. That's, again, an under-the-radar drive, but one of great opportunism. And a P4 finish there. Vincent Gutt, look at that. P16 places gained for Max Raikkonen. Stunning stuff. Gutt in 5th. Terence Gretsch up 12 positions to gain up to 6th position. There's well, a little bit of smoke there I saw there as well. Not quite sure what that's all about. We're happy with their work, and Terence as well. Great to see him back on track, back racing again.
Ooh,
here we go. More carnage.
It's because Kanani's got no front wing. And that's why Tizano's up inside now.
He is up to 8%. I swear there's been more cars without a front wing this event than there has with a front wing the whole race. At least half the cars have had to pit for damage, I'm pretty sure. 10 cars are going to finish this race. Well, at least we hope.
Yeah,
We
we
might.
hope.
At least
Look
we
who's
hope.
in P10. It's your favourite.
Yeah, Mr. Kenwright.
Really, but this is the thing. This is what I've said all along. You keep yourself out of trouble, relatively out of trouble. You know, it was contact that wasn't his fault. He got back to the pit. He got sorted. He's driven a clean race since, and he's going to get a point for it.
And deservedly so.
Absolutely.
You should get rewarded for sticking it out and persisting with the task. Titeman there in second, Tisano in 8th position to make it 3 to Scudiero cars in the top 8. They've probably been arguably the best team. I think that, you know, if points was a thing, it'd take the
Will Kenwright is just about going to get over the line. Maybe.
I was just praising him up, but he just ruins it. He just ruins it by crashing over the line. But he does get his 10th for Optiminal. Not without another big damage bill. But that's been it. That is the season. Done. 2021-22. Done there. And it's been rounded off with a spectacular, carnage, controversial, spectacular event here at Macau. Has been now. There's the results. Yunt there, you know, controversially gets the win, but he wins both races here today. Van Hutz, Wopke Hoekstra with a pair of P3s. Reichel, Gut, Gretsch, Teichmann, Tazano, Kanani, and Kenwright. That's your finishers. Now let's look at the weakest links. Here they are. Gerrit there, really annoyed, and you know I'm with him on that. Kort, Ashenko, Branton, Parakian, Nizano, Dezeu, Morris, Blumschein, Frelick, all retiring there, as well as Alex Leho early on as well. But Ewan, that has been GPU European Series 21-22. Round up for me. Have you enjoyed it? Has it been
really enjoyed
the spectacle you thought?
Yeah, it's really enjoyed it. We had racing straight from the off in round 1. I'm thinking back to another race 2. You know, the leaders split by a hair's width across the line. I mean, ever since then we've had great racing all the way through, and you know that's finished off with a finish like that on the last lap. Contact between the leaders. Not how you want to finish the season. I know it wasn't championship points in this race, but not how you want to finish the season. But exciting to the end.
Was indeed. Now I want to take the time to say all my thanks to everyone involved. Firstly, actually, to Gerrit to Vries and Hugo Poon for putting up with me and Ewan for these last 7 rounds, 2-3 months. So big thanks for that. Really appreciate your hard work on the cameras, especially all of the admins, all of the league owners as well. You got Gale Brantons there, Luca Dezano's, for example, there as well, working really hard in the background. Obviously 3D Wrap. You've got Sadler Computers, of course. You know, really hard work has gone in this season, and I think it's been a great success. And I hope these teams stick around, more teams join, more drivers join, and more viewers watch this spectacular racing in the future. The future, though, who knows what will happen? But hopefully, we'll have another series very similar to this in the near future. But that has been GPU 2021-22. Thanks to everyone tuning in, getting involved, even just putting a silly comment in the chat. Thanks for that. Kept us entertaining and on our toes. And congratulations also to obviously THL winning the Teams Championship, and for Tom Stevens as well, taking away the driver's title as well. I've been David Carter. Ewan Gale's alongside me. Thanks for sticking around and putting up with me as well. It's been great.
Thank you.
And we will see you hopefully in the near future. Bye for now.